how do I say this? I have trouble focusing sometimes. Squirrel. I know what you're thinking. You say to yourself, who doesn't have trouble focusing? We all do. It seems like it's become more of a problem today than it was when I was younger, because there are so many things that are distracting that try to grab our attention and get us to focus on things that they're not necessarily bad. It's just things that are not what we're supposed to be doing. So therefore they become bad for that reason. And I was in my car, I was driving, and I heard Nick Sirianni, the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, say this. He said, I was talking to my players, and this is something we always try to drill home with our players. And he was talking about the media and how the media has all these different storylines to try to get people's attention, but he doesn't want that to be what his players focus on or pay attention to. And so he made this statement. When we focus on things we can't control, it limits our ability to focus on the things we can control. Now, when I heard that, I thought, man, that is really good. When we focus on the things we can't control, it limits our ability to focus on the things we can control. How many of us can honestly say that happens to me every day? I start thinking about things and focusing on things that do not need my attention, and it's causing me an inability to focus on the things that do need my attention. It's tough. It's really tough because keeping our focus is a mental game. It is a mental exercise that we have to practice. The more we practice mentally focusing on stuff, the better we get at it. Someone once said that focus is our ability to direct attention on a specific thing while ignoring distractions. I'm not always the best at that. I fail at that sometimes. And the truth is, I sometimes can't see the things I need to be focusing on. I feel like the Three Stooges.
Mo! I can't see! I can't see!
What's the matter?
I got my eyes closed.
Losing your focus is like so bad because it robs you of doing things that you should be doing. When we can't see what to focus on, that's even worse. Losing our ability to pay attention to specific things while ignoring distractions is bad. The inability to focus on the things that have to be done can ruin a marriage. It could ruin you financially. It could ruin you at your workplace, professionally. There's just so many things. We need to work a balance out in our lives. A man once said this, William James said, the greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. We create more stress in our lives because the things that we should be doing that don't get done start piling up. And it's because our focus is so distracted on all these other things that all the stuff we should be doing becomes overwhelming and stressful. That's what William James was talking about. He said we create the stress because we just don't focus our attention on one specific thing. We don't choose one thought or one thing to do over other things. Well, the truth is we do. We choose the wrong stuff. We don't know how to evaluate or put value on what is really important. I'm reminded of a story of a guru who is teaching his students how to shoot a bow and arrow. He told all the students to knock an arrow in their bow and to draw back. That was easy enough. Most of the kids could do that. He pointed down range at a wooden crow that he had put in a tree. And he told the students, I want you to shoot that crow in the eye. But before you shoot, I need to ask you a question. So he went from student to student, and he went to the first one, and he said, what do you see downrange? And the student said, I see the garden, I see a tree, I see the crow in the tree, I see all those things. He said, sit down. Goes to the next student, what do you see? And that student said, well, I see the tree, I see the crow, I see how you used the string to put the crow in the tree, I see the wind blowing. He said, sit down. He goes to another student. He said, what do you see? And he said, I'm looking at the crow's eye. He said, release your arrow. And of course, when the student released the arrow, it hit the crow in the eye. Now, the point of that story is simply this. They were all looking down range in the direction of the crow. They all had the right idea of what was supposed to be done, but their focus was all over the place. Only one chose the right thing to focus on. It's really important for us as we go through our days to prioritize what's really important and to choose to focus on the things that are of most value. A guy by the name of Jared Henderson said, we are amusing ourselves to death. He said we get distracted with videos and TV and movie and music and podcasts and constant notifications on our cell phone. If you knew how many times a day the average American uses their phone, it's crazy how much time we waste looking at our phone. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out, but a lot of car accidents happen because people are just driving their cars and being distracted by their phone. Again, not focusing on what's really important. So here's what I'm getting at. Let's start today to say to ourselves, I'm going to choose what I think about. I'm not going to get distracted. I want to try to make better decisions when it comes to what's really important and what really needs to get done in my life. You say, well, how does this apply to real estate? It applies to everything in life. I hope that you learned something today. If you did, click the like button. The link button. You can do that too. Click the like button. Subscribe if you want to hear more. And if you have friends who you think that this might help, shoot this over to them. Share it with them. I want to be a blessing to other people. And not only do I try to help people get houses, but I also try to help them with everyday life. And this is just some basic stuff about focusing. My name is Eric Chappelle. I'm the South Jersey real estate guy working for Wycott Realtors in Cherry Hill. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll talk again soon.
Oh, Mo! I can't see! I can't see!
What's the matter?
I got my eyes closed.